Hey, this is Cameron and welcome to the reaction log. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We got a special, spicy one here for you. I mean, oh my god, how am I supposed to make anything else when something like this exists on the internet right now? Listen, you guys have been saying it. I read a comment like this in one of my most recent videos. This is basically an open love letter to me. I mean, Rick knows what he's doing when he posts stuff like this. He knows what he's in for. This is like a guaranteed sore hands reaction video. And it's only 7 minutes long, so I expect this video to be like 45 minutes in total. It's gonna be a short one here today. Also, I know I'm in a new location. I have a new OBS setup. I know this setup looks a little crappy. This was a feat of engineering getting this to work. I've been working all morning since like 6 a.m. just trying to figure out how to do all this. It's 11:50 right now. I hate my life and I hate my job. I hate you. I'm just kidding about all that. I live a dream, but it is frustrating when stuff doesn't work. First off, it just warms my heart seeing this get 500,000 views in 3 days. Rick's in full garb like he's going to the Renaissance parade. With an electric guitar, weird choice. He kind of looks like Brian May with the hair choice here. I swear to God, if he's not in full garb in this video, I'm gonna be upset about that. This 300-year-old song kicked my butt. Oh man, it sounds like you're joining the world of classical guitar here. That has been my life for the past 8 years or so. 300-year-old songs kicking my butt. By the way, before we jump into this, maybe I should introduce myself to tell you why I'm even interested in this. Well, I am a classical guitarist here on YouTube. And what does it mean to be a classical guitarist? It means that your butt never stops being kicked by 300-year-old songs. Whoa, kind of a weak one. Hey, this is my first video in this new setting. I'm a little uncomfortable. Let's go ahead and jump into it. I'll explain more in the next practice log. That's coming up next. All right, Rick, what you got for us?
This is the quickest way to clear out stuck poop.
Hey, after you get your butt kicked by 300-year-old songs, you gotta get that stuck poop out of there.
Stop! Are you trying to kill us? What? Fiber helps you poop.
God, dude, this is what influencers do. I wonder what the sore hands equivalent of this is gonna be in like 10 years or so. That's gonna be really sad. All right, moving on.
So I'm driving my girls to school the other day. I'm always playing a music that they have.
Dad, I don't want to hear your Bach anymore. Please stop.
So it's like, check out this piece.
No, Dad, not another piece. God, those poor kids, am I right? Even I'm listening to this and I'm bored. On the way to school, it's the morning, I'm trying to wake up. Dad, put on some K-pop Demon Hunters or something, please. Just let me play Roblox on my phone. Let me play Minecraft on my phone. This is why he got into music production right here, so he can wear powdered wigs and go to fancy balls and listen to this kind of music. You know what? I admire him for that. I want to be there too. You know how Rick's dancing around to this, it kind of reminds me of like high school or something when someone's showing you a song you've never heard before and they want to prove that they know the song really well, so they'll kind of like dance around to it, and if something unexpected happens, they'll like do a thing. Also, Rick is a real music lover because this song is kind of boring. I feel like it's easy to love like the Fugue to 1001 and the Fugue to 997 because those are like super exciting. You know, all the music that I work on, like, I'll listen to that all day because I love it and it's like fun. But it's impressive. Rick is finding beauty in like not the most flashy of tunes right now, and he convinced 500,000 people to click on this. Rick's so scared of copyright, he's going back 300 years. He's like, I don't want to get stricken down anymore. No more pop tunes, please. Also, sorry to interrupt again. Look at that guitar collection back there. I bet they all sound exactly the same. Also, Rick, you're doing that thing right now that guitar YouTubers do where they're holding a guitar. I hope you're going to play the guitar at some point here because I've been hearing a feedback hum from your amp that's on like this whole time. I hope the guitar goes somewhere. Don't let me down.
What do you think of that? And they said, it sounds court.
What do you think of that? Dad, I hated that.
And they said, it sounds courtly. I was like, what do you mean? It sounds like something you'd play for a dance, like an old-timey thing. And I was like,
yeah, this is actually the song I picked up for you when I give your hand away in marriage to some aristocrat, all for the purpose of striking new business deals to make me more money. Sorry. I'm sorry, Rick. All right, all right.
what it is. This is the Handel water music. I told him that Handel was born in 1685, the same year as Bach, and lived to 1759. He actually...
Ooh, he beat Bach a little bit. Lived a pretty long time. He actually got to see Mozart's birth in 1756. Whoa.
From Germany to England in 1712 and ended up writing this piece a little bit after that. This piece was actually debuted July 17th, 1717. So 7/17/1717. It was commissioned by King George I as a celebration
Not King George 17. Sorry about that.
of the Thames River, hence the Handel water music and music for the Royal Fireworks, which is another part of this suite. But this particular one is the first Largo. It's the introduction piece for it.
Wow, we're just getting a little like music history lesson here. Thanks, Rick. I appreciate that.
It's a very stately kind of thing. So I was thinking to myself, I wonder if you can actually play this on guitar. So I came back.
I wonder if you can. You know, there's actually an entire discipline of guitar dedicated to playing this kind of stuff on guitar, believe it or not. We're kind of jumping into my world a little bit here. That's kind of crazy.
Here and it's like, okay, what do you actually do with this? How would this be played? So the first thing, I know it's in F major because it states it's in F major, but it's actually in E major. And you're saying like, why? Well, because they used period instruments, which are tuned to A415. What does that mean? That means the whole thing is down a half step. So F major, as written, actually sounds like E major.
And that's actually not that unfamiliar to you, too, because I bet you have a lot of guitars back there that are tuned in E flat standard, which is sort of like its own kind of period instrument. The period being the 90s. Sorry, that's a little guitar tuning joke for you. I assume that we all play guitar here.
Play it in E major. So this is the first chord, is this E major chord right here. But it's got all these weird moving lines and kind of, I don't want to say jerky movement to it, but it is. It's not very guitaristic.
Yeah, it's not very idiomatic to the guitar. Not everything can be a police riff.
I'm notating it like it's a jazz tune or like it's a lead sheet. I'm just putting the chords and the measures. Check it.
Oh, you're not going to use figured bass for us? Okay, that's fine. I wouldn't want to read it anyways. Oh, man. Oh my goodness, is this the downfall of Western culture right here? I'm just kidding. You know, that's the thing with Rick Beato. He's educating the masses, and let's be honest, most guitarists, they're going to be comfortable reading lead sheets like this. So there's nothing wrong with this. All right, let's see how he plays it. Wow, he really took some time to like figure out this part, didn't he? That's some of my favorite parts of learning the Bach that I'm working on now, is just like really seeing all the chords as they come.
So it starts here, E major, little walking.
Ooh, yeah, that tone. You know, there's not a whole lot I can say about Rick Beato, really, because he clearly knows what he's doing. In fact, he knows what he's doing so much that he went to grad school, and then I'm pretty sure they, like, made him a professor pretty immediately. I've made this joke before. They're not offering me a professor job. I'm a regular student, and I know, like, a regular amount of stuff, so I can't argue with Rick's theory knowledge or anything like that. But man, you know what I can poke fun of, though? That phrasing. Let's listen to that again.
So it starts here, E major.
For some reason, electric guitarists just feel the need to just like boop boop beam beam. You can make that line just ba-da-da-dum. You know, just something. Let me get my guitar. Man, it's really dry in this house, and even in my guitar case with my humidifier, it's 31% humidity. I hope that goes up. I'm not pulling my guitar out very much right now. You know, like nice and legato and smooth. I think that's the only thing I can really make fun of Rick about. And it's just an electric guitar thing, it seems. People are just kind of careless with how they play things. And I know we have all these lead sheet symbols written out and stuff, and we're just playing the notes to try to realize the progression on the instrument. But you're also making music, and the music should be beautiful in some way, you know? Like, this is not just a tool to realize progressions. It's a beautiful instrument, and you should always be thinking about beauty when you play it. Boom, take that, Rick. Face.
Line back to the one chord.
I don't know, maybe it's just hard to phrase things on electric guitar. I think electric guitar, even over classical, you gotta just be really gentle with it, because the action's like low oftentimes. It also has the magnetic pickups, which are gonna be way more sensitive than just like, you know, a sound hole in a box, which is what the classical guitar is. But, you know, those scales, just really focusing on making them just really legato and nice, I think is a nice thing to do. All right, sorry. I'm sorry, Rick.
It does a sus 5 chord, B sus4.
Ooh, B sus4. Sounds sussy.
And then back to 1. And then there's another suspension, but in the first inversion 5 chord. That's B7 over D sharp. Then there's a little walk down.
Yeah.
Which is really...
I noticed he's doing a lot of his spread triads, which if you've watched Rick Beato, he's a big fan of spread triads. I think it serves this nicely. It's very open voicings. You can get nice counterpoint between them, especially if you're switching inversions. Pretty good for realizing this kind of music.
unguitaristic.
You know what? But let's...
And then...
Maybe so, but let's strive to make that guitaristic. It really is just what you're used to, right? I don't care what instrument you're playing. When you're playing this kind of stuff, nothing is easy or of the instrument you're playing it on. It's all weird and wacky. Hey, and you know what? Rick has done a really good service to the world here because he figured out a nice progression. He's realizing it for us, and he also provided us with chord charts, which I know that's probably what most of us are reading anyways. But yeah, this can be kind of cool though, as just like an introduction to playing something that sounds baroque. And if you haven't played anything like that before, maybe watch this video and try to follow along. You'll probably learn some interesting stuff. All right, let's get to the end of this.
Little suspension here. Sus.
Sus.
So these chord voicings are so odd to play.
Only if you're not used to it. I mean, it sounds like pretty typical movement to my ears, but also I guess anything you play on classical guitar is odd to play. Even the easy stuff, honestly. Like if you compare like Spanish Romance or like, I don't know, even Greensleeves to just regular pop acoustic guitar, it's a lot harder, even when it is super simple. So yeah, you know, when you're playing this kind of stuff, getting into the weeds, and it's fun. And of course, I appreciate you for sharing this with everybody, so now like maybe they'll play that, which is...
But to play it in that stilted rhythm, this meter that it has kind of to dance to, very awkward on the guitar. It's really meant for string instruments bowing. You can see that. The fact that you can actually kind of grab the chords on the guitar, I think is very cool.
You think too little of the guitar, Rick. Guitar is the greatest, most versatile instrument ever conceived. Of course you can grab the chords on it. What you've done here, I like to think of it less as a guitar reduction and more as a guitar addition, a guitar expansion of it, okay?
Those particular progressions like that. I've done a lot of these 5/1 cadences, you know, the...
Have you? I've done a couple of them myself.
Those are common to play, but this thing here... That
is pretty sick. I like that.
Really cool. That is so much out of the Baroque era. Love to know your thoughts about this.
Dude, switch over. We would love to have you in the classical guitar community, Rick. Just come on over. First thing, I would highly consider getting a nylon string. I don't see any back there. Maybe it's time to get one. That might be, no, definitely. It looks like a Martin or something. Hey, maybe on that Martin guitar, switch out the strings with some of these. Some Augustine strings, of course, best in the business. Not sponsored, but I want to be. But yeah, all in all, that was a crazy video, man. Like, you got 500,000 views for, like, giving a little music history lecture and just realizing a chord progression on guitar. Dude, your influence is nuts, okay? So many people know about that now because you just decided to do that. So that's really cool. Good on you for that one. It's just a treat seeing something like that. What am I supposed to make of that? It just warms my heart. It's great. Hey, I uploaded a video yesterday. Here's another one. This one's going to be a little bit shorter. I'll explain where I am tomorrow in a practice log where I'm going to play the fugue to 997. Not the whole thing, but the first half of it. All right. Well, I think we can go ahead and wrap this one up here. So, of course, if you made it this far, be sure to subscribe and leave a like. Hey, head on down over to Rootin's Delight for some merch, 15% off in December. Augustine strings, not sponsored, but, you know, buy them anyways. Augustine, sponsor me, please. Just send me strings. That's all I want. I don't even want money. Just send me your guitar strings. What else? Lessons? I'm not giving them. I'm sure somebody is, though, so just ask somebody else. If you want me to hook you up with a grad student who does online classical guitar lessons, I can do that, so my email's in the description. Also, if you just want to email me, you're welcome to do that too. I don't check my email that often, but when I do see like people just showing appreciation, I try to reach out. So, you know, you can always get a hold of me there. And yeah, it took me like 6 hours to finally get all this ready. So I'm ready to stop working on YouTube for today, but I'll be back tomorrow. I'll see you then.